Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 8:30 in the morning Mountain Standard Time. This is the Packaging Today Show daily. Adam Peak, joined by Cory Connors. We don't
Good
have
morning.
Evelio. We don't have Evelio today, but on today's show, we are going to be talking about contract manufacturers and co-packers and why they are primed for growth in 2025 and beyond. Let's get to it.
I love that thing. That's so
It's
cool.
so fun. So you might have noticed if you watched yesterday, and by the way, if you're watching today, please, just let us know, drop in the comments, all that good stuff. I was on AOL dial-up yesterday, and I'm here.
2005 Adam Peak.
I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here at my uncle's house. And last night, we were trying to watch the football game, and he was like, "Ah, my internet's always going in and out." I'm like, "Well, you have these other two networks." And he's like, "Oh, I do?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I logged into one of them and I did like the speed test. And I'm like, "Bob, this network's like 10 times faster." And it turned out like I was logged into like his router that was like having like a little Wi-Fi signal on the opposite side of his house. These are first world problems, by the way.
Yeah. This is good.
Um,
Life is good.
but I did get into the one that somebody else had set up for him that he didn't even know was there. And he was like, "Oh, this is great." I'm like, "How long have you been doing this?" Anyway, so hello, welcome to 2025.
Good
Um,
morning.
good morning, everybody. Cory Connors,
Yes.
co-packers.
Good morning.
You are co-packagator.
Yes. That's my nickname. Co-corrugated. Yeah. No, I saw an article in Packaging Europe, which if you don't subscribe to their media outlet, I highly recommend their website and their podcast with Tim Sykes. He's amazing, and go to their event in Amsterdam every year. It's one of the premier events of the year for packaging, especially in my favorite, sustainable packaging. But what they're talking about is, and I agree with it, I spoke at the European Co-packers Association last year at the event, and they are primed for growth. They are investing in huge ways because companies aren't ready to make those investments in the capital expenditures needed to accommodate these new EPR laws and PPWR and all of these new changes that are happening in packaging. So they're going to a lot of companies will stop packing their own products and ask the co-packers to do it for them.
Hmm, interesting. Chris is jumping in.
Yeah,
Nice listening to something other than politics today. I
agreed.
will say, I will say that there was some packaging actually mentioned here in the U.S. I think it was the EPA, the new incoming EPA administrator talked about, things like PFAS and
Hmm.
sustainability, which is good to hear. So that's
That's
my
a surprise.
only,
Good.
yeah, it's my only thing I'll say on a lot of that stuff. So what does PPWR stand for? Do you know?
Packaging and packaging waste, PPWR, and recycling. Yeah.
Okay. Is
Uh,
that's a year? Is that in Europe?
it's in Europe. It's a new
Okay.
law that's taken effect, and it does things like outlaws single-use plastics and puts a tax on plastic packaging.
Oh,
So
got it.
this is a massive effect for European countries, anybody packing there. And the co-packers were talking about this a lot. How do we lower our plastics usage? So it doesn't affect our customers so much? We talked about yesterday the Cadbury
Hmm.
chocolate. If we have higher PCR content, the tax is less. If we
Right.
use less material, the tax is less. So if we can even just trim off the end of the package another millimeter, these numbers add up quickly, and the
Hmm.
weights add up quickly.
Yeah, especially as the scalability for something like Cadbury and however many, wraps they're using. So in the US then, when we talk about do you use the term co-packer and contract manufacturer interchangeably? Because I think there's a bit
Mm.
of a nuanced difference. A co-packer, from what I can understand, says, send us all your stuff, and we're going to pack it out. But we're gonna basically be like a toll packager for
Yeah.
you versus a contract manufacturer. This is how I've used it.
Yeah.
Or co-man would say, tell us what you want to do, and we will take care. We'll buy all of your packaging. We'll handle all of your. You
Produce
just
all
give
your
us
goods. Yeah.
you give us a purchase order, and we make everything, and then we ship it where you want us to. Um, but I think they are kind of used interchangeably, at least for most people. Are you starting to see, even here in the U.S., a growth in kind of a desire to say like, okay, we have so much to focus on now, from legislation to affiliate marketing, influencer marketing. How do we get our products out? There's D2C, there's Amazon, there's retail. We've got to keep like, I have so much to do for my business. I would like to sort of outsource
Hmm.
a lot of our manufacturing.
Yes, exactly. Imagine you have a, protein bar company, and last year you bought a new machine, a horizontal form, fill, and seal machine, or a flow packer or something like that to package your food item that you're selling. Now, this year comes along, and the EPR laws say you can't use that kind of multi-layer film. You need a different machine that's going to cost you $2 million, and you're a startup, and you're saying, well, I can't do that.
Yeah,
So I'm going to reach out to the co-packers that already have those machines and say, here's my product. Please package it for me. And I'm going to sell this machine to somebody that can use it. And then I'll have some capital to invest in other ways, in marketing, or like you said, different things to do.
yeah, that makes sense. So, and I even think about that from the perspective of the, in this case, the film, whatever the approved film supplier is, and
Yeah.
the machine manufacturer and the co-packer. It's like the three of them need to become even tighter together, in the sense that if I'm that brand, I probably don't know who the co-packer is necessarily, but I
Yeah.
do know what the film is supposed to be, right? So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the film person and say, hey, I'm supposed to buy this film.
Right.
Where, how do I do this? Well, if you're the film sales rep, this is a note for my salespeople, and you can't answer that question, you are doing that customer a tremendous disservice. So this is why I talk about like having a network that is vertically integrated top to bottom,
Yeah.
knowing people who can get stuff done, because when this starts to really get rolling here in the US, there's going to be a lot of these questions. And they're going to reach out to whoever they can. They might find the person who makes the Viking machine that can run it. They're going to contact
Mhm.
Viking, because we suck at putting ourselves out on the internet in our industry, so nobody knows who to talk to.
Right.
Um, and you can reach out to one of us, and if we know somebody, we'll make the connection. That's fine. But I just think about that triangulation of information is going to become really critical, it seems like, going forward.
I agree 100%. And you and I are, I think, what we would call connectors. And people reach out to us often to say, who do I talk to about this? And what should I do about that? And as a consultant, you and I have built a career on developing real relationships with real people in the industry that can solve problems for you. So, yeah, let us know. We're here to help, and we're here to answer questions. Or if you have advice for us, we also want to hear that too. So if you
Yeah.
say, hey, I have a new machine that does this or that, reach out. Let us know about it, because we have a network we can share that with, and we can help you get the word out.
Always, it's always fun finding out, finding new things and being able to share that information. And kind of wrapping this up here, I'm glad that I could be a connector who has a good internet connection for this particular show.
I like
Um,
2025 Adam Peak. He's but
all right, so in the last 20 seconds, Cory Connors from Joe Thibodeau,
yeah,
do you think water-soluble packaging will continue to grow?
it's a touchy one. A lot of people say, well, where does it go? How does it? And I think there's a little trepidation there, but I think it's got some really interesting opportunities. Things like smart solve labels that wash off for reusable packaging. That's an incredible innovation in packaging. Things like what was that tampon packaging that can be thrown into the water along with the
That's also
yeah,
smart solve.
with same material,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So I guess they're the only ones I know about that are the water soluble packaging, but they're doing incredible things.
There's another company I spoke with. You know what, Evelio's not on, so we can go a little bit over. Called 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 Solubag.
Don't tell Valio. Don't tell.
That I've actually talked with quite a bit. They make a bag material that's water soluble. That their claim, and I have not third party per our conversation yesterday independently verified this. They have though, but Solubag claims to be non-invasive in waterways. So when it gets in, it breaks down um, into I think it's a PVA material, which is not to be confused, I guess, with a different type of PVA. Apparently, they're very confusing, and they have
PVH and yeah.
all the things. But I'm hopeful for it. I think there's a lot of money going into it, and I think it could be really good.
Thanks,
So
Joe. That's a great question.
Yeah, I think maybe we can dive into it a little bit more on another one of these. So we'll be here every single day at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time, 7:30 Pacific, or 3:30, whatever the time it is in Europe, in the UK. I don't know what they call that.
CET, Central European Time. Yeah.
London Standard Time. Yeah, I agree, Joe. Join us tomorrow. We should have Evelio back, so we won't go 2 minutes over. And if you know a company that wants to help kind of be an in-screen sponsor, you will have that episode or that opportunity, right? Meow. See everybody.